Shabbat Shalom, Kol Halo Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahushai, Ba'Hashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS, including the elders that came before them, that taught us this truth. Shabbat Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word in truth and in sincerity. I'm the brother Yahshua, back with the WW3 Daily Update. All right, so this is Jeremiah 51 and 11. Let's read this and break it down. All right, make bright the arrows, right? Which in the ancient days, you would light an arrow on fire and shoot it at your enemy. But make bright the arrows today means those nukes, all right? Gather the shields. That would be a missile shield. The Lord hath raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes. Who's that? That would be Russia. For his device is against Babylon. Who's Babylon? Not ancient Babylon. Babylon the Great, which is America, to destroy it. So right here we see that Russia, who has the most nukes, is going to destroy America with their nukes because it is the vengeance of the Lord, the vengeance of his temple. Who is his temple? The tabernacle of David. His temple is the nation of Israel, more specifically, the elect of Israel. So, whether you understand that in the spirit or not, I mean, it's spiritually discerned, first of all. All right? Let's get that real quick. This is 1 Corinthians 2. Start at 14. Let's see. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of God, for they are foolishness unto. Oh, it doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that. Neither can he know them. You don't understand what I just read because they are spiritually discerned. But he that is spiritual judgeth all things, yet he himself is judged of no man. Okay? For who hath known the mind of the Lord that he may instruct him? But we have the mind of Hamashiach. So, these things are spiritually discerned. Let's go back and read it again. Not that. It's locking. Jeremiah. I'll break it down again. Make bright the arrows. Now, back then, this is Jeremiah, right? Back then, he was dealing with the ancient Babylonians. But the scriptures are twofold, all right? There is nothing new under the sun. So what does this mean today? Make bright the arrows. It means get your nukes ready. Gather the shields. All right, they have missile shields, do they not? The Lord hath raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes. Who are the Medes? The Russians. Okay. Raised up the spirit of Vladimir Putin. Okay. For his device is against Babylon. Is not talking about ancient Babylon. It's talking about Babylon the Great, which is America. To do what? To destroy it. All right. We know that the end is going to come with nuclear fire. All right. That's what the rainbow means that God is not going to destroy the earth again with water. This time it will be with fire, reserved for fire till the day of judgment. Because it is the vengeance. What vengeance? Because it is the vengeance of the Lord, the vengeance of his temple. He's going to revenge his people. Now we go to Joel, and we prove that with the scriptures. No, you don't understand it. Doesn't mean it's not true. Okay? Here's God. For behold, in those days and in that time, in these days and in this time, when I shall bring again the captivity of, these are God's people, Judah and Jerusalem. He's going to raise them up out of captivity. Captivity where? Right here in America. What happened to the Jews Here's what happened to the Jews. Okay? They went into slavery. They're in captivity to this day. Where? In America. To be sold where? Negroes sold where? Right here in America, Babylon the Great. So you can act like you don't know what's going on, but it's all in the scriptures. Okay? So he's going to raise us up out of captivity and restore us back to our greatness. Then he says, I will also gather all nations and bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people, for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among all nations and parted my land. Why is he going to plead? What does that mean? I'm going to plead with them there. This is the New Living Translation. I will gather the armies of the world into the valley of Jehoshaphat. There will I judge them for harming my people. He's going to avenge them. My special possession for scattering my people among the nations and dividing my land. I will gather the nations and bring them into the valley. Oh, Salakia, let's go here. They threw dice to decide which of my people would be their slaves. They traded boys to obtain prostitutes and sold girls for enough wine to drink. Okay? I will bring them back. Jump down to 7. I will bring them back from all the places to which you sold them, and I will pay you back for everything you have done. I will sell your sons and your daughters to the people of Judah, and they will sell them to the people of the Sabians. All right? So that's recompense. Now, if we go back, we see that same thing. Right here. Sharpen the arrows, lift up the shields, for the Lord has inspired the kings of the Medes to march against Babylon to destroy her. This is his vengeance against those who desecrated his temple, his people. We are the temple. Okay? We are the temple of the Lord. All right? So that's what World War III is about. It's about God destroying the nations. Right? And then restoring his people to their greatness. All right? Now, let's go here. Jump down to 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. Wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I'm strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. So as you can clearly see, this is about world war. It's about World War III. You can't get around it. I will gather the armies of the world war into the Middle East. All right, so let's look at that. We'll go to Secret Files. 3 hours ago, Europe dropped a bombshell to China. Taiwan is not alone. So Europe is going to join the United States to fight against China to protect Taiwan. All right, this is 7 hours ago. U.S. ambushed the Iranian oil tanker. U.S. give differing accounts in Sea of Oman, that's in the Middle East. World War III, this is 18 hours ago. World War III, war fear. China is expanding its nuclear arsenal. There's those nukes. Make bright the arrows. Okay? What is a broken arrow? Wikipedia. It's going to say it's a movie. Broken Arrow. A movie about what? Film, Broken Arrow. Other uses. Broken Arrow, an accidental nuclear event involving nuclear weapons, warheads. All right? Make bright the arrows. Okay? If you take broken off of arrow, the, the broken part stands for the accidental event. Arrow stands for nuclear warhead. Okay, make bright the arrows. Got it? These things are spiritually discerned. All right. Let's go back to Secret Files. Let's watch. One day ago, war alert, China clearly preparing to invade Taiwan. All right, this is World War III jumping up. Let's go now to, we're going to keep this short. Let's go to Deep Journal. 4 hours ago, Japan attacks China with deploy its aircraft carrier. What? Japan pulled their swords. Okay. Swords are nukes too. Arrows, swords. If I wet my glittering sword, all right. New Israeli airstrike bombs Iranian division. One day, the Russian army goes to Ukraine for occupation. All right. If I wet my glittering, and we'll get this one precept and we'll go ahead and close out. If I sharpen my glittering sword, what is a glittering sword? Make bright the arrows. Deuteronomy 32 and 41. If I wet my glittering sword and my hand take hold on judgment, what is the judgment? Those nukes. I will render vengeance to my enemies who are his enemies, and will reward them that hate me. My enemies and them that hate me. Who could that be? Well, let's find out who hates him and who are his enemies. Let's find out. Keep not thou silence, O God, hold not thy peace and be not still. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. These motherfuckers are proud. Excuse my French. Okay? They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. Who are his hidden ones? Israel. All right? Who are his enemies? Well, here's the list. The tabernacles of Edom, so-called white men, Caucasians, the Ishmaelites, who are the Arabs, of Moab, the Chinese, the Hagarenes, right, who are Africans, Gebal and Ammon, all right, these are the Japanese, Amalek, the so-called Israelis, Philistines, which the new word is Palestinians, but these are Africans, not those Arabs over there claiming to be Palestinian. The inhabitants of Tyre, those are Africans, okay? All right? The Moabites and the Ammonites. Those are what? God's enemies. The ones that hate him and his people. All right, so when we go back, all right, what is he going to do? If I wet my glitter, if I get my nukes, all my nukes that I had everybody create for me for mutually assured destruction, and my hand take hold on judgment. Here we go with the judgment of the nations. I will render vengeance to mine enemies and will reward them that hate me. How is that going to go down? Revelation 11. All right. And they, this is Revelation 11 and 12, and they heard a great voice from heaven. Who is they? This is the elect of Israel. Okay. Start right here at 11. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them. Who is them? The elect of Israel. And they stood upon their feet. We did that right now. We know who we are. We're proclaiming this word that nobody else can understand. And great fear fell upon them. You're not the Israelites. You're not black Hebrew Israelites. Okay. And they, the elect of Israel, heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, just like the one you ignorantly called Jesus did, like Elijah did, like Enoch did, right? And their enemies, wait a minute, who's their enemies? Who are the enemies of God and of his people? Well, we just went over it. We read the list. So when we get beamed up into those chariots, your whole mouth is going to drop. And then what's going to happen? Then those nuclear bombs are going to hit. Right after we get saved from the hot LZ, right? In the same hour was there a great earthquake. Well, what happened? Them glittering swords, them fiery arrows. And the 10th part of the city, what city? Babylon, the great city, all 10 FEMA regions fell. And in the earthquake were slain of men, everybody that didn't get beamed up. 7 means completion. And the remnant, who's the remnant? Well, these guys that got beamed up. They ascended up to heaven in a cloud. Okay? Come out of her, my people. Come up hither. We were scared as shit because we just were saved out of that thing and gave glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, so there it is. That would be the World War III daily update. We can't wait until the missiles come. So with that, we're going to say we hope that the elect were edified. And with that, we're going to say Shabbat Shalom.